Hello and welcome back to Concussion Sub Series on this Monday, Martin Luther King Day in America. It's a chutti, so we thought we will do a quick pod. Ask Sanjay if he was free, and as always, he's happy to talk cricket. What we'll chat about today is the England tour of India. England is going to be here in India in an 8 game white ball series, which starts on 22nd of January. That is five T20 internationals and three one-day internationals. This is right before the Champions Trophy ODI tournament, which is due to start in Pakistan and Dubai. So we will review the squads and also predictions. Sanjay Dubey, welcome back. Happy to talk cricket.
Hi, Suman. Good to have a bank holiday. I think in the US, it allows for other people around the globe to have a quieter day than normal. So, yeah, I hope you're enjoying your long weekend.
Yes, very much enjoying. It's pretty cold and it snowed quite a lot yesterday, but it's all right. I mean, we are used to it. One more month or 1.5 more month of cold weather, and after that, we're going to start getting into a little warm weather. So, speaking of warm weather, India is hosting England for T20 internationals and one day cricket. So, lots to ride on. Two different teams for both the formats on India. So, what do you think? Five T20 series and three ODIs just before Champions Trophy, good idea, or it's another bilateral PTM?
I think the first thing is after such a high profile red ball series, we've had a good 2 weeks break, and we have to have some cricket to ensure that all the masala that's being dished out by someone or the other. Like, it's come to a point where no one can believe what they see in any of the social media platforms. Someone's getting bed rest, someone's not getting bed rest, someone's getting selected, dropped, who's playing Ranji, who's playing county, and all that. So it's good that we have some cricket and good that we have some white ball cricket. I know Gambhir's record so far as a coach has been poor, to say the least, but hopefully this white ball will change things around. And then definitely a good idea to have some ODI cricket as well going into a big tournament like ICC Champions Trophy.
Good stuff. So, let's review the squads and then we will also talk about what we can expect. So, India T20 series, which starts before, so let's look at it. Surya Kumar Yadav, the captain, Sanju Samson, the wicket keeper, Abhi Sharma, Tilak Varma, Hardik Pandya, Rinku, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Aksar Patel, the vice captain in T20 format, Harshad Rana, Arshdeep Singh, Shami, Varun Chakravarti, who is missing in the Champions Trophy squad, Washi Sundar, who is the constant in ODIs, and Dhruv Jarail. So, what do you think of one Surya Kumar's leadership qualities and then also the T20 squad which is in front of you?
So it's obviously in a transition phase, if it's fair to call it. Next year we have the World Cup in India. It comes very thick and fast, and we were discussing we should plan try and go to India to watch a few games. But the challenge here is that there are so many opportunities for these players, and we would need some consistency in selection as well, hopefully, because you have this 5 match series, then ODI matches, and then Champions Trophy, IPL, England series. Then I think it'd be very probably 10, 12 games before the next World Cup. So it'd be very interesting to see which are the players who seal their spots, because I think there's a good chance 7 to 8 players from this list will definitely play the next World Cup. Tilak Varma looks an absolute sure shot along with Sanju Samson for now. Now that Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli and even Jadeja has had made way for a lot of the youngsters to come in. Dhruv Jurel is a very interesting selection. I think I'm not really sure if there was no Champions Trophy and we did not have a big long Australian series where the Rishabh Pant would be in scheme of things, considering we also already have Sanju Samson. So lots of good opportunities for a lot of these players. Akshar Patel, I'm really happy for him that he's got the vice captaincy, and I think considering his recent form, he's a proper genuine all-rounder along with Hardik Pandya. So all in all, very strong side. We are the world champions, and I think this should be a very good 5 match series.
Absolutely strong side. And you spoke about the wicket keeping choices. Uh, it did not make sense when they independently announced the T20 squad that why Rishabh Pant is not there. But then when you look at the Champions Trophy squad, it makes sense because he needs rest. He's coming from a five test series, his knee surgery and things like that. And also clearly he's in a larger format scheme of things, Test cricket and ODIs. When it comes to Samsung, looks like he's going to be in T20. Dhruv Jarel, of course, is the backup keeper. What is interesting in here is Varun Chakravarti is in the scheme of T20, but not in one day internationals. That's another big factor. Mohammad Shami appears in both the formats, which is promising signs, which means he'll get proper 8 game practice before the Champions Trophy. Harshit Rana Agarkar mentioned that he's in the reserves for Champions Trophy, given, or actually, he's in the reserves for ODI cricket for England if Bumrah uh, fitness doesn't meet the standards. Nitish Kumar Reddy is not part of the 50 over format. Rinku Singh is exclusively for T20. Hardik Pandya, hopefully he stays fit. He's again part of both the squads. What do you think of the bowling in the T20 squad? We seem to have Arshdeep, Rana, Shami, Varun Chakravarti, and Bishnoi. Those are your proper bowlers.
Yeah, I think Hardik and Akshar pretty much will play all the games. You probably are looking at 4 overs between them, and on good days, probably two full bowlers. And if you go with two fast bowlers, I think Arshdeep and Shami, if he's fit, will make the cut. And then it will be Balin Chakravarti and Washington Sundar or Bishnoi, depending upon how the team wants to go. So I think there'll be a lot of opportunities. I think the players, what they'll need to realize is the opportunities are going to be few and far in between. So when they get that, make such a strong case that it'd be very difficult for the selectors to ignore you. Like Tilak Verma getting back-to-back hundreds, it's unbelievable, and he's almost a sure shot to go into selection on a lot of these big tournaments. So I think Varun Chakravarti is slightly unlucky to miss out on the ODI squad, and I would also say Nitish Kumar. I would have liked him to see in the ODI Champions Trophy squad, because there's no point in carrying four spinners. You're not going to play four spinners there. You only have three seamers. So I think Nitish would have been a good pick to try out in these conditions, which are Asian conditions effectively. So seamers might be good, but yeah, I think all in all, very powerful squad. It'll be interesting to see whether all the people get the games. Because it's a 15 member squad, or whether they just, if they win the series, whether they get the other guys to have a go, or is it a warm up for some of the players who've been selected for Champions Trophy, like Mohammad Shami and some of the others who've not had a game for a while. So yeah, all in all, super strong squad, and I think it's India has got the upper hand, definitely.
Yeah, and Gautam Gambhir also has a preference for all-rounders. If you look at both the squads, it's filled with all-rounders. Washington Sundar is common, Ravindra Jadeja in ODI squad, Akshar Patel is common, Hardik Pandya is common factor. So seems like all-rounder, which means batting will be quite long. Unlike Ravi Shastri and Rahul Dravid days, they were purists clearly, right? They were looking for a proper batters and proper bowlers and having one or two core full-blooded all-rounders. So what do you think of that change in approach here?
I think what IPL Impact Rule has done is that there's no chance for any of the all rounders to flourish, which is why you would see, if Nitish Kumar Reddy was to play before the impact player era, his bowling would have probably even flourished a bit more. Akshar Patel on a lot of the days is not completing his quota, even Jadeja for that matter. So it's allowed that flexibility to the captains in IPL, but we do not have an impact player rule in international cricket. So it has to we have to groom some of these all rounders or some of these players who are probably good enough to bowl a couple of overs every other game. So like that's like the likes of Tilak Verma, even Rinku Singh. So unless you give them opportunities and play them, I think we'll struggle in big tournaments. I think we were quite lucky in the T20 World Cup that all our big boys were firing, and you had a firing Hardik Pandya, which probably covered the cracks on most of the other things. Whereas you saw in the ODI World Cup when Hardik Pandya got injured, the sixth bowling option was on most days not available, and that probably cost us a game in the final maybe. But yeah, I think all rounders, I'm all for it. I love Gautam Gambhir's style of going for the all rounders. We've all seen that in Lucknow Super Giants, and in other news, Rishabh Pant has been announced as a formality the Lucknow Super Giants captain. So I'm super excited for him as well and the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was going to come to the Rishabh Pant story anyway, but what are your predictions for the five-match T20 series versus England? England also have a pretty strong squad. I'm just going to bring that up. Let's spend a few minutes, Dubey, if you don't mind, before we go to your excited state of Lucknow Super Giants. So
So
T20s and one day internationals. On T20s, Butler, the captain, Rehan Ahmed, Jafra Archer makes a return. Gus Atkinson, who's been in top form. Jacob Bethel, who is the RCB sensation, the new one. Harry Brook, the number one test cricketer, is in T20s. Braden Cars, who's again bowled really well, played really well in New Zealand. Ben Duckett, Jamie Overton, Jamie Smith, Liam Livingston, Adil Rashid, the spinner, Sakib Mohammed, Phil Salt, and Mark Wood. Mark Wood makes a return along with Geoff Archer. What do you think of the T20 side there for England?
they're super strong. T20s, Test ODIs, they're a very, very good team. And I think it'd be great for the people coming in to watch these games in India. I think they'll get full value for their money because these are two very strong teams. If you look at a lot of the young, exciting players, you don't have the likes of Ben Stokes here. So it's all the new guys who are coming through the ranks. Jacob Bethel, as you mentioned, Harry Brook is a sensational player. Ben Duckett, his form in Test cricket is he plays at a strike rate of 150 in Test cricket. Liam Livingston, very popular in India. Adil Rashid never gets an IPL contract, but he always delivers. And Phil Salt, we've seen what he can do, and Mark Wood is again a great character. I think they'll do really well. They're all familiar with most of these conditions in India. Majority of them play IPL as well, and it's generally a good time in India to play T20 because it's possible that someone might get injured and some of these players might get a shout into one of the IPL teams. So it's all in it's all good for them to perform really well against India and in India, especially so close to the IPL. It helps them.
And on ODI squad, more or less the same squad, except for Joe Root, the class act comes into play. So, what are your predictions now that you've seen both the squads? What are your predictions for five-match T20I series before we go to ODI?
I think it'll be a 3-2 to India probably, and I think the ODIs would be 2-1 to England. I think England would probably do better in the ODIs than in T20s.
And so 3-2 India or 3-2 England for T20s?
3-2 England for T20s and 2-1 India. Sorry, 3-2 India for T20s and 2-1 for ODIs for England. So ODIs England and T20s India. I never get predictions right, so when you know that, so yeah.
Fair enough. So another question before we go to the suspense of Rishabh Pant captaincy in LSG. You are based out of England. You have been based out of England for a long time. Will you support India or will you support England during this series?
Oh, of course, India all the time. No, so I think people need to realize cricket probably is the number eight sport in this country. People don't really care about cricket. It doesn't make any difference whom I support, and there's no reason for me to support England unless they are playing another team. So England, India always would be India. So yeah, if you have when you have the test matches during the summer, you'll see 80% of the crowd would be Indians as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now let's switch gears to but Lucknow Super Giants had brought Rishabh Pant for over 20 crores, and Mr. Sanjeev Goenka was super happy when the winning bid came to Lucknow Super Giants. And today they had a marquee event in announcing the captain. And as everybody expected, even Rishabh Pant wanted to be the captain. Lucknow Super Giants had a proper event to uh, bring Rishabh Pant as a captain. So I'm just going to bring up a visual and also to show what Mr. Sanjeev Goenka had said about the captaincy strength. And only if
Yeah.
my screen share works, I think it worked. So, first reactions, what do you think of the announcement? And secondly, talk to me about this comment which he made.
So this comment, it wasn't made today. I think it was made in one of the podcasts he had, if I may call it, a, an image cleaning podcast after what happened with KL Rahul and all that. So I think people got to see a different side of Sanjeev Goenka, so on and so forth. I think he'll still be a hard taskmaster. I don't think Rishabh Pant would be able to get away with having say two seasons without going into the playoffs, etc. From a captaincy perspective, from a player perspective, I'm super, super happy. But there is a slight worry that if he fails, God forbid, then his time may be limited as well in LSG. But hopefully he can get some success. Hopefully we can win a tournament in the next couple of years, and that'll set him just like you had MS Dhoni and Rohit Sharma in CSK and MI. So who knows? The next decade we could have 4, 5 tournaments for LSG. So it'd be very interesting. And I think Rishabh Pant, apart from the money, I think he's also got what he wanted, the captaincy, and I think he'll get full backing from Zahir Khan and Mr. Goenka. So all in all, great times for Rishabh Pant. I hope that he does really well in the next few months, doesn't get injured, and you know it's a great story for Rishabh Pant.
Absolutely. And he seemed super relaxed and chilled as well during the interviews. I've seen the clips. I wish I could get hold of the entire interview, but Rishabh Pant, being himself, seems very happy. And he also mentioned, I think Jatin Sapro asked him, what did you think during the auction? What were the emotions and reactions looking like? I think he said, uh, tension lag raha tha, kahin Punjab na khareed le mujhe. So nobody wants to go to Punjab for some reason, Sanjay.
Punjab, stop. Yeah, I mean, they didn't even. It was between Delhi and LSG. So, I mean, imagine he was saying that about Punjab. अगर Delhi फिर से ले लेता तो मतलब और फिर captain भी नहीं बनाता. Imagine तो और भी ये होता. So I think he's done well to get a new team, and I think this is once in a generation opportunity for anyone who's missed picking Rishabh Pant, because I think he will be the talking point for the next 10 years in the IPL. A lot of the senior players are going to either fade away or have are not at their peak. So I think Rishabh Pant is probably the one who will do really well in the next few years. That's what I'm hoping at least.
Absolutely. So yeah, good luck to him. I think he was always looking forward for being a captain. He also mentioned he has aspirations of becoming an India captain. So hopefully it clicks. It's your team, Dubey. You have a dashing captain and a dashing batter now. So looking forward to the new series as to hopefully it'll bring you new luck and you at least get to the playoffs and meet Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Oh, Puran, Miller, and Pant. Imagine those three coming in after a good playoff.
Killer. Yeah, should be awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Always great talking cricket, Sanjay Dubey. So hopefully we will bring another topic soon to the viewers. But thanks for joining in. Your predictions are recorded. So whether they are good or bad, we will get to know in a month's time. But folks who are watching, few of you are watching, we can see. Thank you very much for the support. Tell your family and friends to like and subscribe to us. But yeah, we really enjoy bringing cricket to everybody. Sanjay Dubey, enjoy the rest of the evening, and we will see you next time.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.